Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl, Free La, and I'm here with my dudes.
Eat crushed glass, you know who it be?
Na Vinci.
Hey.
And we're here today, and we're going to start off this pod with some interesting conversation. We're going to look at the topic of sex work first, and then go into...
Oh, isn't it sex workers, though?
No, it's not sex workers, it's sex work, and we'll get into why.
Sorry, off camera, I've been joshing her, so just know that any resentment you see that she has towards me is not just from right now. It's been for the last 25 minutes of me poking at her.
And I potentially tricked Nye a little bit earlier, so he might be out for me too.
A little bit? A little bit? Wow, that was not a little bit.
Talking about, I think I hit your core.
I know.
But, yeah. So
we'll
you
get
want
into
to start
this?
it off?
Well, yeah, well...
Well, actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Because this is Free's topic, Free wanted to speak about this and bring awareness to this and have an actual open discussion. I think the males in this situation should probably go first because we're usually the ones that have the derogatory term to sex work. I mean, when she told me about it, I was like, prostitution? I was like, the first thing I was like, prostitution? Because that was the only form of sex work I was even... thinking about, do you know what I mean?
I'll be honest too, it's the same thing came to my head.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then now doing a little bit of research and realizing that it's the word is coined for many
it's
people
for the industry.
The sex work industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Now I'm understanding why that term is used. It's also used so that it's not putting out a stigmatism that's been out there about prostitutes and females selling their body, because it's not just females that are in this sex work thing. There are males, there are transgenders as well. I wasn't too sure about that one, but I kind of, don't take this the wrong way, drag queens like RuPaul, the guys that want to dress up like females or go in the corner and sell their booty. I'm sorry, that's what they're doing. They're selling their booty, right? Some of these guys, like, I want to see, like to pick them up and do their thing with them, right? So, yeah. Right now, me running through this and kind of looking at it, I understand why that term was coined and why that term is actually more appropriate than saying prostitute or stripper or a go-go dancer or...
waitress. Because waitressing is a form of sex work.
See, I didn't know that. I thought waitressing was a part of hosting, which is a part of...
Right, but think about waitress, and even that term alone now, that's antiquated, right? They're servers. Yeah. But if we think of the term waitress and you go into a Hooters, right?
Hold on, though. Can I...
Just let me finish. You go into a Hooters, or you even go, I think it's Earl's that the girls used to always wear, just the tight black, thin strap dress. So it's using your sexuality in a way that is going to give a physical or emotional response to the recipient of that visual, and then it gets you money. Sex sells, right?
Of course.
Even at a Hooters or in a place where the girls' skirts are a little bit shorter, the tops are a little bit lower, that's sex work.
Yeah.
Women do sex work at times when they're at home with their partners. I don't want to fuck tonight. This guy has been harassing me for 3 days. I'm going to go fuck my man, but I'm still engaging in sex work because there is still some type of return in there for me, and it might just be peace of mind or peace of home. That's still sex work. Although he might not be giving me a dollar bill, I'm using sex to navigate, or my sexuality, to navigate whatever space I'm in. Sex work.
So...
I like that.
Yeah, this guy, you won't hear much from this guy, but...
No, but I like her point. I like her point.
I like your point.
No,
you don't want to play devil's advocate like me. I'm the shit kicker. You know what I mean? I'm out here like
but there's a time to, and she made a very valid point.
Now,
so I had agreed.
For me, I wouldn't classify my wife having any type of sex with me as sex work.
But that's because you already have a negative idea and a negative narrative potentially about it, and you're not tying that to her or saying that she is a sex worker. No.
Yeah. Now, here, hold on. I ain't got no problem with girls doing sex work. My problem is the girls that's doing it out here for free. They fucking down the place, and then they upset why they can't get a man. Now, me, if I decided to enjoy time with an escort,
Right.
I get to, every time I come into town, I'm a rich guy. Every time I come into town, I get the same escort. After about 2 years, I'm like, you know what, you ain't gonna do that no more. You know what I mean? Because everybody's reason to be in that industry is different.
Absolutely.
Some people are brought over here and promised the world and stuck in a brothel or stuck in one of those massage parlors working off their debt. Some come over here, their family starts a brothel, or they get married to a guy who starts a brothel, and he goes, "Oh, you got other cousins, and bring them over, man." You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that they're not being used, but the information and the agreement is different.
Oh, well, yeah, that's going into trafficking.
No, I'm not saying trafficking. I'm saying like they're not there. They're not there of their own. They're not took in there and their free will's taken away. It's like, hey, you can come over here and do this with us, or you can manage this, or you can manage that. I'm not saying that's always the case, but that is potentially a thing that can happen.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's some girls that they grow up, or some males that they grow up and life has been shitty to them, and they're abusing drugs, and that's what they turn to. So, I mean, the term or the wording of sex worker is not a bad thing, because like I was saying before, right? Instead of saying prostitute or stripper, I mean, there's girls that are stripping right now to go to college. Not all of them are.
Yeah,
Most of them say they are, but they're using that line of work because it's fast cash and it's consistent to get themselves ahead. So no, I'm not looking down on them. I'm not even looking down on the girls that are doing it for free. I'm just saying the way I look at certain things, like we're talking about, this is one of those gray areas like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not such a small gray area. This is because there's all type of reasons why people are in that industry, or get turned on to that industry. I mean, porn stars are pretty much, I don't know what to call them, but I mean, they're fucking multiple guys. They have multiple movies.
Right.
They're doing multiple scenes, and they're getting paid for it. Now, I'm not going to call her a prostitute. She's a porn star. But to not use those derogatory words, right?
Yeah.
To make somebody feel like you're downplaying them, or your sex worker is a lot more appropriate. Everybody can understand that it's a job. There are requirements. You have to carry yourself a certain way in certain parts of the industry. It's just like just industry in general, right?
Right.
There's a kitchen industry. There's a pub industry. There's, you know what I mean? So it is a business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I have no problem with these girls or these people doing what they're doing. The thing is, there's people out here that are doing it and they're trying to hide it, and I understand it's shameful. But when you hand in a cookie jar, they like, I see you got 2 cookies. No, I ain't got 2 cookies. So who got 2 cookies? I don't know who got 2 cookies, but it's not me. Bruh. Is that your hand? It's like Cat Williams. Did you see that one? Which one was it? I think it was the pimple where he's wearing the all green. He looked like a leprechaun, a black leprechaun. He was wearing the green suede suit.
Yeah, what is it called? It's not Pimpin'.
It's not pimping.
No.
But it's like one of his first ones, right?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm in here chilling with these people, and they doing coke on the table. Yeah, so he's, hey, did you just do coke? I can see it on your nose. Like, I ain't doing no coke. There's no coke around here. It's on your nose. That's what I'm talking about. It's not, I don't have a problem. I'm just like, be yourself. That's always been my thing. Like, you could be a herb, you could be a cornball, you could be the realest nigga, you could be the realest bitch, you could be a slut whore, whatever you want. Just be yourself, though. Because at the end of the day, if we live our life on everybody's judgment, that's how some of these sex work people end up going to drugs, right? Their parents did something to them, or, you know what I mean? Like, they're traumatized in a way where they think drugs, like, don't think this weed is, I smoke this like twice a week. I used to be heavier than this. You know, niggas used to go through fucking half a box of pom-poms in a day. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't feel, you ain't smoking.
God.
Okay? But yeah, the fact that the term was coined in 1978 and mean free la la.
Free la.
Yes, it's free la. I like to say free la la because, like I said, again, I like to poke at it. You know what I mean? I'm the agitator of this whole conglomerate right here you got going on. But yeah, so explain to me how, because this came from Wikipedia, how this might not all be the truth.
I was just saying because on Wikipedia, anybody can go and enter a piece of information.
Yes.
So that line potentially could have been me saying, And if I have misinformation and I'm adding it to a piece, right?
Yeah.
That's why you need, when you're looking at Wikipedia, at times you have to take it with a grain of salt and not declare that is fact. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but the potential for misinformation to be in there is high because we all have access to editing things on Wikipedia. That's what I was saying.
Okay, but wouldn't it not just be Wikipedia? It would be the internet, because there's such thing as fake news. People put out fake things.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. That's
you know,
why it's like when you're
wouldn't it be
looking
more acceptable if it came from a book.
Or journals.
Okay.
You know, tons of online journals because they have to be vetted.
Yeah.
Right? That information has to be legit or else it's not getting published.
Okay.
Different if it's personal opinion, right? If it's your opinion, then that's what you think. But if you have your personal opinion and then you're going to say, yeah, and it's based on this fact, and then that piece of information that you're saying fact is incorrect, it doesn't necessarily make your argument a bit shaky, but people are going to be like, okay, where did they get that from? Where's the legitimacy in it?
Yes, very
That's
true.
all.
Very true. How do you
But
feel about this, man?
It's huge. The sex work thing, it is
Well,
so huge. Like,
The industry is billions of dollars. A couple years ago, I went and I did research assisting with one of my professors at the Calgary Stampede, the Centennial. So I think it was 2012,
Okay.
right? So the 100 years of Calgary Stampede, and we were researching sex work in the Stampede.
yeah.
Right, and we're even watching the parade and some of the costumes that were being worn in the parade and the multi-billion-dollar contracts and stuff that are signed during Stampede, or at least back then,
Yeah.
on, like, women were like party favors. You know, big business A and big business B, they're here having conversations. Oh, and while you're here,
Yeah.
enjoy our spoils,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So even just the incidences of STDs that increase during Stampede time, right? Because sex is just that big of an industry that contracts and business moves are also built on it,
Yes.
right? It's a lot more than just, I think, we as the common person really look at sex work, or, you know, the girls that are, people that are doing it for free, or the ones that, you know, are in an escort agency or anything like that,
Yeah.
right?
Like strippers, go-go dancers.
Things
you
like
said
that.
waitresses.
Yeah.
AKA now they're called
Burlesque
servers.
dancers,
Yeah.
you know, because it's using that sexuality, right, to elicit a response. But I guess for me, my main thing in terms of sex work is if you got it and it's going to be lucrative for you, why wouldn't you?
Well,
Or why couldn't you? Or why is there such a negative?
get in on this.
Yeah.
You know, like he said, I can't really judge anyone. I'll never judge anyone for doing it because, hey, some of them do it to pay the bills, put food in their kids' mouth, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what people don't look at. When you have it, you look down on them when it's not a problem for you.
Right,
But
right.
if you're not in their shoes, you're not going to feel it. Right? So, yeah, I have no problem with it.
But do you feel like there's any sense of right and wrong in it? Like, because for me, it's like, okay, if a girl comes over willingly and wants to do that, all power to her. But the girls that are promised the world and brought here, and then next thing you know, they're getting hooked on drugs, and do you know what I mean? So like, there's a good and bad in everything. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, but so, no, I don't understand what you mean, but
And like
okay,
some of the girls that like
the girls who choose to do it,
Yeah.
obviously, the girls who were brought into it and forced into it, hell no.
yeah.
I won't agree with that.
No.
But the girls who choose to do it, yeah, I mean, like, they got to do it.
Yeah,
Pay
but
for school, do what they got to do.
That's what I'm saying, though. Some of these girls are not just doing it to pay for school.
Yeah.
They're not just doing it to pay
Well,
for drugs.
and also some parts of this is glorified, right?
Of
Not
course.
necessarily the physical act of the sex, but the money you have after and the cars and the
Yeah.
Well,
club
I mean,
and,
it's
you know,
glorified in movies too. Like, how many movies you seen where somebody gets brought to a brothel?
time
Ball
and time
movies,
and
you know what I
time
mean?
again.
Brothels,
Yeah.
So it's like
Strip
when you-
club.
Yeah. So
Deli.
like when you're talking about business meetings, it's more than business meetings. It's almost a way of society.
Absolutely.
We just have different forms of it at different levels, right? So, like, I think it was saying in here the professional one, if I can pull it up. But, anyways, they're just talking about how there's like the type A, or no, type
Different
5.
levels,
yeah, there's like
right?
different levels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's different levels. And give me a sec here.
You got streetwalkers, you got like
Yeah,
high
street-
class escorts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Even with that being said, too, as well, that, you know, it was. Hold on. Such ways. So, they were trying to find ways to hide who they were. And I understand. Because like,
yeah.
it's looked down upon, right? But then, you know, it's messed up for the girls who just kind of like, oh, you're promiscuous, just whatever. And then the girl that's doing it because, you know, maybe that's her only. She feels that's her.
She feels, yeah.
That's her only talent. It's not her only talent, but right now, you know, it's like the Antonio Brown thing. He's crying out for help. So I'm not trying to switch it.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
comparing a male to, right? So like he messed up. Just a bunch of stupid stuff, you know. I don't know if he raped that girl. I don't know what he did, but he violated that girl. Or that girl's trying to get money. That's none of my business. But the scenario of him first texting the girl, when he gets, like, he had two opportunities. So he left from Pittsburgh and the Raiders signed him. They trade for him, right?
Yeah.
He goes over there, makes a big stink, whatever. And then they, you know, they get rid of him. He goes to the Patriots. The Patriots go, listen, we don't know if you did that or not, but check this out. Don't do that here.
Yeah.
He goes and does it. Then he gets released by them. Now he's having this outcry. Oh, you know, people only love me when I play football. Do you know what I mean? If I'm not playing football, I don't feel the love. That could be the same thing for
Well, yeah. Well, and
if I don't do these acts or make this money, then I'm not loved.
yeah, as you're attaching your value or your worth to that action, whatever that is, football, sex, whatever.
Yeah,
it is,
no,
right?
but
Making
that's what
money.
I just had to
Yeah.
use that so
Yeah,
it didn't seem so
absolutely.
biased, right?
Yeah.
And I'd use a male just to show like it's some of it is 50% of it's mental health.
I think so. Well,
Is that
that's
fair to say? Like 50%, like
could be. I think the underlying, because they say that there's two types of people that engage in sex work.
yeah.
One that has lots of confidence and high self-esteem, and therefore, and they know that this is my moneymaker and I can do it, so they do it.
Yeah.
And then there's the other group that, you know, it's abuse, it's trauma, it's low self-esteem, low self-worth, lack of identity of self, all of that thing, and I'm doing this as well,
Yeah.
right? I don't know to say which is, because it's also, well, if you have such high self-esteem, then why are you engaging in sexual things?
Yeah.
To show that, why couldn't you, I don't know, go run a multi-billion-dollar corporation instead,
True,
right?
yeah.
But it's, I think, choices, what you get exposed to. There's a lot of girls that are in the industry, people, even, because we'll say it from the worker or their employer. We'll put it that way. Sometimes it's generational. I grew up into this, right? My mother was a sex worker. My aunt was a sex worker. My mom's best friends. That's who I saw.
Yeah, so
Either
why-
as a son or a daughter, right?
Yes.
And now I've grown into it. And it's a culture
You
for
could,
some.
You could even refer it to the LA or gangbangers, right?
Yeah.
My cousin, his dad, my uncle, my brother. Do you know what I mean? If that's the only thing that they're
Shown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then that's what they're
Well,
gonna
it's just
flock
like
to.
it's just like a parent, right? If his dad was a basketball player, his sons grew up. The next son, the daughters, and yeah.
Well, and
Yeah, but
especially...
sometimes they don't turn out to be as good as the
No,
dad.
but
you know, and sometimes the dad realizes that sooner and gets the mad guy, right? But no. Listen to my comparison. While for these people who are involved in themselves in sex work, they might not have that person that's like, hey, listen, you ain't gotta do this. Like,
Yeah.
you can do it if you want. because I was doing it, but the world is open to you, baby. Like,
Yeah. Whereas they, or they might just get, look, this is what we do. This is how we make money. My dad's a pimp. My brother's a pimp.
Yeah.
Everybody's a pimp. We all pimping.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. I agree.
you know, this ain't never gonna die. Till I die, you know what I mean? And so my boys, my kids growing up, gonna be bills. Right?
Yeah.
Or like I said, the gay banging thing, right? It can go, like I said, generations, right? They're all just born into it.
Yeah.
Or they, they're in an area where it's rampant, and like that's the way they make, So
That's
because
the
some
way of
people are
life.
thieves, right?
It's just like a drug dealer.
So do you think some use the different term sex worker and prostitute? Like some want to be called sex worker and some prostitute. Do you think?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, remember this house girls, like I just found it right now. So class 1 or upper classes of the profession consisting of call girls. Class 2 is referred to the middle class consisting of in-call girls or in-house girls who typically work in an establishment or commission by a basis. Class 3 is the lower middle class, where streetwalkers, those who place work, whatever the fuck, like right now.
Streetwalk. We know what streetwalk.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's also ones to be commuter housewives, which I don't know anything about. Would you be able to? Because like I said, I kind of briefly went over this.
Yeah.
But what is a commuter housewife? Like, what's that?
From what I understand, commuter housewife is literally just that. So my kids have been dropped off and they're at school for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Make money. All I need to do is commute.
And that's huge, man. You listen, I'm serious. You don't see it, right?
No.
You don't
Fam.
see it, but it's huge.
Fam, I still don't understand.
right?
So like what?
Your neighbor could be doing it.
So what you're saying is this girl drops her kids off or drops off her child.
Daycare school.
And they just go to random people's houses.
Not
No,
random.
their house.
Well,
Who
no.
called them? Who called
Yeah,
them?
they have their client or whatever, and they go and commute to that place. But during the day, my husband or my partner thinks that I'm at home doing housewife things, and this is just a little piece of it that I carve out. It may only be one client or one person that I go see, because little
But the
Johnny's
husband
at
doesn't know
school.
about this.
Could not.
Sometimes he
Who
does, and
knows?
sometimes he doesn't.
So, but you see, that's what I'm saying.
Because
That's
if
why
you
I
can
be
bring
fucked
extra
up.
money in,
No, but
and
that's-
we don't have to take out a second mortgage,
No, but
because
hold on,
you
though.
can go do this for 2 hours a
Hold
day.
on, though. How is that fair to the man if the girl ain't telling them, though? That's crazy. Like, if that...
But like I said,
Because that's pretty much cheap,
but,
right? Like,
no, but that's based on their own relationship and what
Yeah.
their understanding is. I don't think the basis
just so you
of
know,
it.
we don't get into black men don't cheat
Yeah,
in a bit.
that's
a plug.
the basis. Isn't if husband knows or not, or partner knows or not. No, the commuter housewife is the fact that during the day or during these hours, I have my job. I'm a contractor, and I'm gonna go do this job, come back, and little Johnny's done at 3:50, and I'm gonna be right there to pick him up with an extra, 10 bills.
It's real.
Yeah, but I mean, if my wife told me she at home all day chilling, and all of a sudden, you ain't gonna worry about it.
Yeah, but now you're stuck on the fact that she didn't
Yeah,
tell me, and I
yeah.
don't know. That's just based on that relationship.
I'm not saying it
If
has
the
to be a
communication
pimp.
happened
It
or
has
not.
nothing to do with no pimp. thing,
No,
but it's just like,
but you're just
you
saying she didn't tell
pussy
me.
for $10,000, and I'm out here busting my ass like, what the fuck, fam?
Well,
Why
then
don't you
she
let
said-
me know so I can, I don't have to
Chill
tighten
out?
up so much.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
then
mean?
she goes, "Okay, honey, well, you can sell your booty too."
Well,
Yeah,
then what?
yeah, what you gotta say now?
No. Here's the thing, though. If I choose to go sell my booty and I tell her I'm selling my booty, that's cool. Do your thing. But I'm still gonna be out here selling my booty. I ain't telling you nothing. And then when shit get hard, you're like, "Yo, baby, I got you." Bitch, where you get that money from? You supposed to be at home, right? That's what you wanted to do. That's not what I'm telling you to do.
She's been
This is what you want.
investing.
Investing in selling my panani.
Yours. Oh.
My panani.
Well, then she should take it off, and you
No.
should carry it to work with you every day.
No.
Stop it.
When I mean my
More
panani.
words, bro.
When I mean my panani, for my wife, this is her day. Simple. It's not one way.
Right.
So if I'm gonna be out here slewing down gal and getting dollars, you best believe my wife don't know about that.
Of course.
Right?
That's the way it should be, I think.
So if she's gonna do the
Transparency.
same thing, I best know. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm just like, yo, B, I'm on into this cuckold thing, man. I'm sitting and I watch them y'all get drilled on my neck. Nah, fam. I'm not, and and even that could be a type of sex work, right?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many different ways.
vast.
When I hear, the commuter housewife, you know what? I didn't say nothing. I didn't have no uproar and say, oh yeah, well she's supposed to be at home doing, but she over here give John the best hand job of his
Well,
life.
as soon as you read that, I knew what it was about because
Yeah.
I actually watched a documentary on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
it was pretty. I was like, wow.
But hold on, do the males know that their wife was doing that?
Well, like we're talking about, sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't.
Yo, if I didn't
And
know
sometimes
that-
the male, would actually set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he plans out everything before he goes to work.
like and she wouldn't know.
No, she would
she
know,
knows.
but he's like,
He
okay,
already
baby,
knows. Yeah.
this is your itinerary. This is your agenda for the day.
Yeah.
See, but that's pimping
Rick,
though.
Nick,
That's pimping
and
though.
Sammy.
No, see, but that's pimping though. I'm not talking about pimping. I'm just talking about like, yo, things get tough, whatever. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to be at home, but there's no real work out there for her that she can get into, and she wants to go do that. Yeah, let me know. I might be okay with that. I might not. I'm not saying I'm with it or not with it.
Right.
I'm just saying, give me the choice.
Yeah.
Because
At the end of the
if I
day,
would-
let him know.
no, let them know. Okay, them, not him. Them know. We're just using this one because that's what it is. A commuter housewife.
Yeah.
It's not saying commuter husband. It's saying commuter housewife. So I'm saying, okay, this man's married to this girl. Maybe he's a bum and she's gonna go do it. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? But y'all married, man. Like, if she catch something,
Yeah.
right, and then he goes, "What the fuck?" Some of these guys are crazy. They'll end up killing their wife if they don't know what's going on. Oh,
Right.
she on your fucking Billy for fucking $5,000 a month, and I'm out here struggling, bitch. You sick? I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You've seen those people. We know those type of people. Like their mind, once something doesn't click right,
They're gone.
you know what I mean? You're looking at a walking duppy. Because I so left the building. Okay, I'm telling you.
So, if we go to a sex worker,
Yes.
or what we used to be termed a prostitute, do you think that legalizing or decriminalizing is
Yeah.
something that the government should consider?
Well, they did it with weed. I mean, why not just do it with the pussy? Pussy wouldn't roll though.
No, I mean,
No, listen, pussy wouldn't roll though. This is why. Listen, I'm all for our lady president, but this is why the Americans will not put a woman in. They've been stepping on women for so long. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into the whole like women in general, but I feel like black women, women of color, have been stepped on a little bit more. Not turning it into a race thing. Just saying, you know what I mean? And that's everywhere. In America, though, it's just kind of like, yeah, there's Oprah, but where's the rest of the Oprahs? Why
Right.
is Oprah the only? You know what I mean? There's people on their way up. You know, Bill Cosby, rapist or no rapist, he was on his way up. Shit happened south for him, right? He didn't stay in his lane. Dave Chappelle, he realized that they were trying to treat him as a fucking puppet. He felt some type of way, had to dip up off the scene. You know what I mean? Why does it seem like we don't realize that's why they wouldn't trust a female emotionally to run a country?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, that's why they would, like, for me, like I said, if my wife wants to do this stuff, or a girl I'm with, whoever wants to do this stuff, I know, I'm okay with it. All right, Robin, I ain't got no problem. But everybody's got to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And there is a huge double standard for men and women.
Oh,
You
it's,
know what I mean?
it's
Because,
right there. It's
like I
huge.
said, for me, if I seen house husband or husband, I'm like, yo, so hold on, does he let his wife know? Like, this isn't just me saying,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that's how some people can take it. I'm just saying, I see right here, housewives. I haven't heard of
You're
no
saying
girls.
the partner
The partner, yes.
in that's making you a husband or a wife.
Yes. The partner has
Where
to
are
be
they
aware of what
in
the
this
fuck's going
equation?
on.
Yeah.
They have to be aware of this shit. Because that shit's crazy. And I'm not saying a word to where, like you said, the guy has the artillery. And he's like, yo,
Yeah.
this is what you... No, that's pimping. That's not... no, that's not pimping?
No, but he was just saying in the documentary, sometimes
No, I know
the
the
husband
documentary.
does set it up.
Yeah.
But that's not the husband. That's a pimp. Yeah, you might have got married, but that's a pimp.
I mean, you could look at it that way too, but
if they're both in it
Both,
together,
exactly.
and I'm saying, you know what, I want you to go vet these people first, so I know that I'm even going to be safe,
yeah, so
right?
the
And
key,
that's what he does.
yeah, the key. He's not forcing her to. They're both in it, 100.
No, but
So-
it's like when I mean husband, I mean that's it. That's it. People,
But
you
if
know
it's
what?
a
I don't even
husband that's
know why-
forcing his wife to do it,
Sorry.
yeah, I see
Sorry,
pimping.
not to be a gross asshole, okay?
Okay.
But I don't know why I even asked that question because I feel like an idiot. People are pissing and shit on each other. Like, what? You're not even just toe fetishes. So why am I even asking these questions? I'm acting as if this shit is abnormal.
Right.
No. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So I'm done with the argument. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying, right? Like,
Holy shit, that came out of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
but
The light just like, bing! Yeah, this is...
It's true though. It's true.
It's an
I see
industry.
where you're coming from. It's true.
Yeah, if
Why am
either
I
of you
shocked?
guys, if either of you guys say you're skilled in videography,
yeah,
and you had an opportunity to be the camera guy,
at some show or whatever.
porn video, whatever
Yeah.
it is, would you
Something
do it?
that's
But it's your career.
Yeah, I mean,
If you had the
but,
opportunity, would you do it?
like sell myself.
No,
Oh,
be the
No, that's the-
videographer.
Yeah, the
Be the
cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
As long as it's not into certain things, but yeah, whatever, man. I mean, if they're gonna pay me the good money,
Yeah.
yeah, you're supposed to want to do better, and that wouldn't be my only stop. I'm like, yo, let me get in over here, let me get in over there, make more money. You know what I mean? No, that's how you have to take everything, though, right?
Right.
From the time you're working for somebody, you should be striving to get ahead of everybody else to where you can get close enough to that person to either make enough to branch off and start your own, even though you might be a sister company, it's your own, you run your own shit. You know what I mean? So owning your own business. I mean, this podcast, you know what I mean? Like I said, we're starting this up. This is going to eventually turn into a business. You know
Right.
what I mean? So everybody's got to do what they got to do to make their money.
Yeah.
Come on now, boo-boo.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
would do it. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
so I'm just saying that
arguing now.
you would, just like many others, would be in the sex industry given the opportunity.
Yes.
yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
also males, and males are sometimes like the pink, the pit bull with the pink thing hanging out, just running around. You know what I mean? Like some, just like no, I'm just saying. When we dog our women, niggas is the same, dudes is the same too, right? They're running around here, shelling down everything. Like, you know what I mean? I've heard by them say, "Yo, pussy ain't got no face," so I know.
Yeah.
So there's men out here that are
So yeah, men are
That-
doing
that
it
could
for
be-
free as well.
yes.
Yet,
I seen one
More
male
than
prostitute.
more than one, probably.
No. Of course, there's more than one. I'm just saying the way we look at the way how I said she's just out here doing it for free. Don't get it twisted. There's
Yeah.
dudes out here doing it for free.
It's
They
just that
want
the
another
stigma
notch on their
isn't-
belt.
Yeah.
They want to, yo, I'm out here slowing down things, fam. What do you mean?
yeah, but the narrative is just very, very different.
Different.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, I see my first male prostitute in Barbados. That shit was hilarious. You know what I mean? I went to Barbados. I got married in Barbados. I met Rihanna's drug dealer on the fucking plane, bro. I know. I sound like I'm looking for something. I'm not saying all this. I'm looking for. I'm not. I swear to God. God knows this. Ask my wife. Me and them are grilling each other in Toronto. They put us beside each other. We're grilling each other. We get to Barbados, and like we're flying right in there, like probably like an hour before we land. Talking to her, we chop it up, find out, he's from America because all he had is American dollar bills. Yeah, I mean, I was ready to show me where she lived, took me around the town. I mean, it took like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But like he took me to a lot of places, and he took me to this one club, and like I said, I see my first male prostitute. So this nigga, he wasn't full roster, he had a baby dress, but shirt open, dancing with these white girls, and I'm sitting in because I'm somewhere I don't know, so I'm not even like really enjoying the festival. I'm just taking the moment in, but
Yeah.
I'm very aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm watching people, I'm seeing what's going on. Dude bumping with it, da-da-da-da. You kind of see them kind of slowly start backing up, disappear for about like 20 minutes. She come back smiling. He come back fixing up his pants. Like, yo. And he did that with like more than one woman.
Yeah, but
and this
I
is
find-
Barbados.
I find that going to, international destinations, men and women both that, engage in that, they're not just doing the whole, sleep with the person visiting the island thing for one time. They're looking for some long-term payment.
Yeah.
Let me try and get her to fall in love. So
yeah.
then when she goes back home, now she's funneling.
You want me to give you another joke?
Yeah.
Funneling it.
Let me give you another joke. So yeah, he took me out, whatever, right? Partied up. Guy gave me some crazy ass weed. Like, it was retarded. And we was like, we weren't on like super resort. We
Yeah.
were like on like a, like with the people type thing. When we got married, we went to the mayor's office. Dude, I don't know. Listen, I'm a fat nigga, okay? So don't take this nowhere, all right, my ladies. I seen this dumpling with legs, fam. And this man who looked like Kuta Kinte's son, bro. Man was maga. For his green card, B, I'm like,
That's right.
Yo.
Yeah, sex work.
My
Well,
wife,
that's a huge thing, though.
yo,
sex work.
I don't give a fuck what nobody said. My wife watches this shit, that 90 Day Fiance bullshit.
Yep.
Every now and then I peep in on that shit. I'm like, yo, the way some of these people move. They're like, oh, I'm gonna get married. I'm on the show. Let me just.
Yo, I'm
And they're still doing their fuckery. You know they're gonna
watch
be
it.
on camera.
Yeah.
I watch it. The fact, because I want to see. I'm like, really? Like, you don't have a brother or dad that could slap some sense into you?
Yeah.
Like, some of them.
But brother and dad might be waiting for the come up too.
Yeah, but I mean,
Hey,
some of them, like, it's
And
just
this also
clearly.
goes into, sorry, I forgot you off. This also goes into another topic we're going to talk about, which is social media. Because you see what we're talking about right now?
Yep.
This is something that's with it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so back to the sex worker thing. Sex work or what? Don't
Get it right.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, there can only be one dickhead, okay? There can only be one, like highlighted.
That's you, bro. That's you. That's you. Yeah. That and human trafficking, they're just tied in together, isn't it?
In a sense, because you can have international
Yeah.
prostitution. When you look at some of the Scandinavian countries, so you're looking at Finland and places like that, the idea for some of them is, you know what, if I can get out of here and travel, right, and go to America or find that wealthy husband, blah, 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 then I'm good and I can take care of home.
Yeah.
Right? And the idea is, well, you're not only going to get the good guy because you're sitting there cooking him borscht. Like, he's going to want something more to make him stay. Or to make him have you stay with him. Right? So, but then there's also, when you're looking at sex trafficking, especially in developing countries, they're like, here is my daughter. Because if they sell their daughter...
Arranged marriages and shit.
Not even arranged marriage.
they're just like,
Here's
here.
my daughter.
Yeah,
and,
that's
I'm
true.
getting X amount of dollars. So the
Yeah.
little bit that I do have at home now, we're able to maintain it. But I've just sold my daughter.
Yeah.
And then who knows? And then there's other... There's other, I guess, children that fully say, you know what, Mom? You know what, Dad? I know that I can go do this and send money. At least that's the idea, right? That's the story that's been told generation after generation. Yet they go, and then it turns into the whole trafficking. It's not what they were promised, exactly what you were saying initially. So the idea was, I know and my family knows that this is why I'm going.
But
But
sometimes
then-
it doesn't turn out that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, they get hooked on drugs or...
Not even hooked on drugs. They just have the guy that's supposed to be setting them up.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, not. So, A, you're not going anywhere, and every cent you make is mine.
Yeah.
Fucking
But
mom
the
and dad.
yearly income for human trafficking is staggering. 150 billion. And
course.
90 billion of that is sex trafficking.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Like the industry of sex,
Yeah.
if it is that the trafficking version
Yeah.
or even just a webcam model.
Yeah.
Right? So the whole gamut. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's insane.
Web-
Even down to like fucking sex toy testers.
Yeah. Well, you see those sex
Sex
dolls.
dolls.
That dude's getting married to a sex doll. B, I see the sex doll. I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I said, yo.
Mm-hmm.
B, let me tell you something. I don't care. And this is going to sound fucked up. I don't give a fuck, fam. If I wasn't married and I needed some pussy, the last thing on earth I'm touching is a sex doll.
Thank goodness. I thought he was going the other way. I was just like,
Yeah, me too.
wow.
You mad? No, B.
But you're not going to catch anything.
No, let me pause the homo. I ain't even. When you go to jail, there ain't no sex doll there, fam. You just got your hand. I'd rather beat off than be messing with that. Because next thing you know, you start look. You already look crazy. What are we doing? Replacing women with toys?
Hey, yo.
I understand. Listen, no disrespect to the women out there. Okay. I understand you all got dildos and vibrators and all that shit. But most of y'all want the real thing. The women that don't mess with men, they don't mind that. You know what I mean? And even then, some of them, it takes them a while to go to that side because they got cookies. Sometimes they stay on this side because we got ham. Okay? I know. Didn't rhyme, but I just wasn't trying to be a sicko. Anyways. Why is it that people don't recognize that, though?
Don't recognize.
That, like, men are messing with these dolls the same way some women mess with these toys. Mm-hmm. And in actuality, it should be accepted, but it's not accepted.
But do you notice also, too, now, in terms of the sex doll, there isn't a male one yet?
No, there's just a dildo.
Like a full man doll doesn't exist, but a full woman doll does. Again, this industry is just built on the back of women.
Talk.
It is.
And just talk, like, it talks to you and shit.
Yeah, it talks.
Like,
but hold on.
You know, they got ones that suck. You're like, yo, fam. Like, no, really. Why do you need that? Oh, you can't find yourself a girl? I don't care. She don't have to be the best thing in the world, man. No offense to anybody. If you ever played Mario Brothers, how many dragons did he have to slay before he got the princess? Like, come on, fam.
Okay, Matt, have you watched this documentary on Netflix for that? Right?
For what?
The sex dolls.
That's
Right?
crazy.
And do you know, some guys, dudes, whatever, man,
That
they
pocket pussy
divorce their wife to be with these things.
See, that's showing you the like, it's getting a whole new next level in terms of that, right? But that's showing also just how human nature, we are so disconnecting from the physicality of each other. That much doesn't matter anymore.
Well,
Because
it
it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
go by it.
Well, listen, it doesn't matter for the guys that don't love women.
Right?
That's just my opinion, though. Like, a doll pocket pussy? What the fuck, fam?
Yo,
Like, these things never existed before.
No,
Like,
I
yo,
think
listen.
they did. We
Sex
just
dolls?
didn't see. Maybe not as advanced as that
well, they
one.
had the
Do they have
was
the
a
pocket
blow up
pussy?
thing.
Yeah, that weird blow up one in its mouth just sits so. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just saying, B. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, some of these people now have them, and it's like, okay, full on, real human, husband and wife, pulls up to a restaurant. That thing is in the
Stop
front
it.
seat. Yo,
That's weird.
what do you mean? Take it to a restaurant. Check out some of these documentaries, especially in China. Yo,
Yo, let's leave that alone.
That's
though.
a six-part thing, isn't it?
yeah, it's on Netflix.
I think I saw the.
Are you kidding? Yo, serious.
I'll check it out, man. But
That's
you know what I mean?
odd. Yeah. Different strokes for different folks, I
But I said,
suppose.
listen, I just told y'all, I said people are pissing on each other, fam. Why am I asking these questions? As if this stuff is not normal.
But yeah, the norm. Yeah.
It's abnormal to not be into that stuff. Like, people look at you like,
Yo,
so you don't...
normal though. But welcome to our world now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to that.
Well, that concludes this part
Yeah.
of the sex work.
Thank you guys for engaging me.
Oh, thank you for
appreciate
bringing
No,
it
thank
up.
you for teaching us some knowledge on
Because
that.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Yeah.
appreciate
Trying to
it.
teach people, you know what I mean? I didn't know much about this. Like I said, I thought it was prostitution.
Yeah.
And then she said that. And then I'm like, yeah, it is. And then now I'm like, okay, it's just like a chain restaurant, whatever. But there's just the pros and the cons of like a chain restaurant. Is it
Absolutely.
people losing their life, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's, I mean, somebody can get an allergic reaction, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's run properly.
I still don't. I personally think that it shouldn't even be for the government to decide if it's legal or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I have to get a license because it's a business, but it's because it's bringing in billions of dollars, and it's just another way for the man to tap into it,
Oh,
right?
yeah, people have massage parlors all over the place getting that guap.
You know, but
And we know what some of those massage parlors are.
well, yeah, and it's just because
But
they
it's
can't capitalize in a sense.
But they still are.
On
Though.
it.
The government's making them register as a business, just not an outright like we sell pussy business.
Right? No,
Because
absolutely.
anybody can get a masseuse parlor, right?
Yeah.
And all you need is, you know, a 1-2 thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make things look clean.
No, but I'm talking
there
just
making-
fully being a sex worker, right?
Yeah, like-
That there's
like-
laws against certain things, right?
But not everywhere, though. There's certain places.
Certain aspects of, I guess, the interaction. Some parts are criminalized, some aren't.
Well, it's just like, well, I don't know if I should say that.
Okay,
I'll
no.
shut up. Yeah. All right. Like I
Okay.
said, thank y'all.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
We'll
the
carry it
Vinci.
on next time.
King.
For sure.
And Free La. We'll catch you in a minute.